Welcome to In the Background of Life with Kelly Ramsey, the podcast that invites you to sit down in a cozy living space, sipping a cup of tea while we embark on a captivating journey about our intentional narratives in our lives. I'm Kelly Ramsey, and this podcast is your warm space to unravel the stories woven into everyday moments. It's a tapestry crafted with intention and purpose. So grab your favorite cup of tea, settle in, and let's explore the unnoticed details that contribute to the intentional design of the world around us. Together, we'll celebrate the beauty in the threads that make life extraordinary. Hi, welcome back. Welcome back. We are continuing our episode today around the holidays and being home for the holidays, making those connections with our families. But we also recognize that the holidays also come with challenges. And so, how we're navigating what that looks like. So, as I talked about in my last episode, we have different traditions that we create throughout the holidays, but it's also to be mindful of what it feels like in our bodies, in our minds, in our emotions as we're navigating all the things, right? And so recently I was out shopping. Actually, it was right before the holidays started. And I was feeling in my body just this anxiety with all the people moving around and grabbing things and looking at different things. And I made the decision in that moment that I'm going to navigate it in a different way this year. And so, what I've been doing is I've been setting the pace for how I'm going to be engaging, what I'm going to be doing during the holidays, and what's bringing me joy in that process. So, there's a couple key factors that I use this month. And so, one is called December Daily. And I'll leave that for you in the show notes with Allie Edwards. And December Daily is all about taking a snapshot of a memory or something you do during that month and then journal or writing about it. For me, the act of journaling, writing, putting pen to paper, and writing down our thoughts is a calming activity by itself. So it automatically brings my heart rate down, it causes me to focus, and it just really settles me in my spirit. So that's one thing that I'm doing. The other thing that I'm doing is called December Pause, and this is with Liz Lamoureux. And December Pause is, you can subscribe to it, but it's just about opening up my email for Liz's email, and it's just noticing and pausing throughout the month. So those are two things that I'm doing to beat the holiday stress, to set realistic expectations, and to be sure that I'm settling myself. Now, the other thing is, as I'm doing both of those activities, I'm also watching what it feels like in my body. Were my shoulders tense? Was my jaw clenched? Was I holding my tongue to the roof of my mouth? Like, all of those things are signs of being stressed, right? And so as I'm doing the activity, then I'm noticing how my jaw gets unclenched, how my shoulders come back to normal, how my breathing is not sporadic, but it's constant and it's smooth and it's doing all those things. So what we do with our stressors, it matters and it's important. We don't get through, I would say this, we don't get through the holidays without some type of stressors happening just because that's what society pushes on us. Like, we got to be in the hustle and bustle. You got to buy the 29 gifts. And did I get this for Uncle Johnny or whoever? What if we don't? What if instead we bought gifts that were meaningful to the people we were giving to them, but we wanted to show the love in the way that we want to show love? So this year, I'm being very mindful of what people have said they wanted and asked for in my immediate family, and also what will enhance their day to day after the holidays. So, what other things, not necessarily do they need, but what other things that bring them joy? So, what I know about the holidays is that we feed off of both our own things that are going on with us, but we also feed off of the people that we're around. So, it'll be really, really important to surround yourself with people who can support you during the holidays. Now, if you need some help or assistance, so you need a therapist, you need to talk to a good friend or clergy or whomever, be sure to reach out and do that, because whatever it is that you need to cope and to get through it is available to you. If you don't remember anything else, there's a number called 211. It's a mental health line. You can dial that number and you can get aid and assistance in all different areas, but specifically, you can get some help with mental health and grieving and loss and during the holidays, and some things about how do you navigate throughout the holidays. So, one of the realistic expectations I have for myself is that I cannot burn it on both ends, is the saying that it goes. And so that means I cannot be going all day, doing all the things, and then come home and be able to like be on all the time. So I build into my routine quiet time in the morning. I also build in a focus, like brainstorm for what I need to accomplish for the day. And then that's what I work off from the day. I work off of that list. So lots of other things get thrown at me. But today I said these three things were going to be my priority. And that's what I make my priority. So instead of going to 6 stores looking for the perfect present, I tell myself I'm going to these 2 places. I'm going to get these specific things. And then for that day, that's done. And then the next day, I can choose a different one. But I'm not going to run myself ragged trying to figure out all those things, because it just creates more stress and it's unrealistic in that expectation of myself. Now, the other piece is that we have to learn how to give ourselves grace. So, what do you mean, Kelly, give myself grace? So, when we haven't figured it all out and we're feeling stressful, it's also okay to label, I'm not feeling my best today. I'm a little tired. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm going to go lay down. I'm not going to Aunt Susie's because it doesn't bring me joy. Like, I decided I'm not going to go to Aunt Susie's, but I'm going to invite Aunt Susie over to my space and to my home. And if she comes, I can love on her there. But I'm not going to keep going through all of the hoops that are required, are imposed on me if it's not bringing me joy. So we do have a choice in the matter. We can choose who we're circling ourselves with. We can choose whether we partake or not partake. And what's most important is, how does it feel in my own body and how does it feel for me? And we can not even have to explain what our choice is. We can just say, yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it this time, but have a great time. We'll see you next time. And so you get to set what those boundaries look like. And it's important to set those boundaries for what you need, not necessarily what other people are imposing on you. So here's some actionable advice that we can do. So these are strategies for staying connected with our loved ones who are far away from us. So maybe they're not in the same city like my family. So we can do virtual celebrations, like to bring everyone in. We can send virtual postcards like, hi, this is what we're doing. We can write letters. We can also mail gifts. Like if we needed to mail gifts, we could send them their favorite restaurant through DoorDash. And so on their doorstep, the food that they like would be delivered, and say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. And so we can choose to do things some other ways. The other thing as an action step is prioritizing your own self care during the holidays. This is so important. So, in that same list of all those things that you wrote down about what you want to do, you can also make a list of how are you going to take care of yourselves navigating through the holidays. What is it that you need? How much sleep do you need? What things bring you joy? And go do that. One of the things I put on my list this year, we haven't did in a while, is family game night, and so we're gonna do family game night. But the other thing was setting up a table that had a puzzle on it that we could come back to. So setting up the table, putting out the puzzle, and then any of us can sit down at any time, put a few pieces in, but by the end of the, by the end of the month, all the puzzle will be put together and we'll have all the things done, right? And so those are just different things that we can do to take actions. So I am curious as to what you are doing for the holidays. And so we would love for you to leave a comment on how you're making it through the holidays. What actions are you doing to do those things as you move forward? And another great idea is hosting what we call a Friendsgiving. So maybe your family is away. Maybe you don't have a lot of close knit people. Maybe you've had losses during this season. So a Friendsgiving, our inclusive holiday dinner, it means you invite whomever you want to invite. Maybe they all cook a dish and they bring it in, or maybe it's all appetizers. I know this new thing is happening now where they're having parties. So whatever you're bringing, you bring it on a board, and it's all different things. So s'mores and charcuterie boards and dessert bar and crackers and cheese, whatever it is. And so you can make these and begin to bring them in. So that's an idea to create the family that you want to be centered around and create that unique tradition where everyone is valued. And as you're doing that, what happens is that you begin to see what's most important to you and how you can bring in more joy in those spaces and in those places, the things that you want to do. So, those are our tips for today. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We look forward to connecting with you in the new year in 2025. And our first episodes of 2025 will be all about casting our vision for the year and what I call word for the year. So I do a word every year. So we're going to be talking about that in our next podcast. So until then, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. This episode of In the Background of Life with Kelly Ramsey is brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast platform.